Alright, we're in the lower geothermal greenhouse. This is the first one I built, and the barrage just started to flower. If you don't know, you can make ice cubes with these flowers in them and serve them. The flowers are edible, and a lot of fancy restaurants put them on desserts. Now, something unique happened with the barrage. I've been growing it for a while. Oh, it's sweet like sugar. Here's a pink barrage flower. I've never seen that ever. They're usually blue. So something interesting happening here with the barrage. Take a look at that. Also wanted to show you some blueberries forming on our blueberry bush. We got all the tomatoes in. Our celery is flowering. So we're going to let that go to seed so I get some celery seed. Look at the size of those celeries. I put in some peppers. Here's a Cajun bell. It's a bell pepper that's spicy. Put in some alyssum down here to help get pollinators in. We got some nice tomatoes dangling. And cleared all this parsley out and just left one growing here. That parsley will come back. I just planted this pepper plant, a giant Marconi, and it got hit by, I don't know what. It drooped. So, who knows what's going on there. Maybe it was freezing cold in here. But no other tomatoes are hurt. There's a couple nice little fruits down on there. And I dumped some perlite in here to prevent the pill bugs from eating the stems of these. This is a Armenian cuke I planted in here. I'm going to pull out all of these shards that are flowering and going to seed to bring, free up space here so we can get some more things growing in here. But some nice oak leaf lettuces down there and our mint. And I'm going to pull all of this fennel out. It's just gobbling up the sun. And I'm going to harvest the seed from our French sorrel and get that back under control. Now I want to show you something cool in here. About 3 years ago, this guy moved in. This toad. And this year we have toad babies in here. And so he's been nesting and helping with our insect control in here. And he's no harm or foul. Nice and plump. And we've got a whole family. You can see here there's some more barrows of toads in here. Let's see if I can get you, buddy. Show everybody our pet toad. There he is. And so he's helping with some of the insect control in here, which is nice. And he's been in here now a few years, and now we have babies. Our tomatoes are popping down here. These are all very interesting heirloom varieties of yellow and purple striped tomatoes this year. So, should be an interesting year for tomatoes. What do you got growing? I'm going to use the string technique and put these straight up to the ceiling so we have a full 7 feet for them to go. And take this tray out, that shelf up there, to bring more light in here. And we'll show you how to do that technique when that happens. Now take a look at this shard that's flowering. That thing is 3 feet above my head. That should be pretty epic, and I'm going to leave that in there to see how that develops. But the beauty of shard is that in a survival time, you've got all this extra food here in the stem that you can chop up and simmer. And so it gives you a lot of bulk as far as food. So consider growing shard as a survival food because of the stems. There's a lot of food in a small area, and you can constantly harvest the leaves, eat the stem, and there's just a lot of food in there. Also consider growing some edible flowers like snapdragons because they're delicious and they're nutritious. Nasturtium's also edible. This is a nice substitute for pepper. So if you don't have any pepper or black pepper, you could just throw in some nasturtium into the dish. Give it a little peppery flavor. There's lots of other herbs that do that. Interesting little Mr. Stripey we got planted here, which is an heirloom tomato that I love. Grow some herbs too, like thyme. That's a little pungent. Maybe a kale. This kale is pretty pungent. And Grem is just waiting for her soccer ball. And I had some really nice... That is pungent. Thank you. I had some really nice strawberries here, and then a deer came over and mowed them flat about a month ago. And amazingly, it didn't damage them, and they're all back, and they're flowering again. So, strawberries are back. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. We love you. Be safe. That's a boo.